there are some mistakes most of you traders do make. All right. So let's correct that right now. Okay. When you come to your chart and your pattern formed, right? Now, if you are using a long wick as your POI, whether it is a sell an entry or buy entry, if you are using a long wick like something like this as your POI, and you mark uh, you place your POI above you place your long short position to at above this POI, and you are expecting that once price comes into this POI, most of you do enter once price touches your POI, making you to be in a big drawdown of loss, because most time price will not just come here and they start selling down. No, it will like to go inside this type of POI, then rumble around before selling down. So if you are using this type of POI, right? If you're using, anytime you come to the chart and you see your setup, okay? Anytime you come to the chart and you see your setup, then you are using a long wick as your POI. What you will do is to just avoid this, just avoid that trade entirely, because if you anticipate for price to just comes to either touch your POI before you enter, you are going to be in a big drawdown. And why is that? Price will come into this type of POI, then rumble around inside this big POI that you marked before selling down. And if you are the type that trade a profit, you will be in a massive drawdown. So avoid this type of POI. When you come to the chart and you see a long wick candle, it can be a long wick or it can be a long candle body. Do not use that zone as your POI. Just leave the trade and look for another entry setup. Okay, so now how do you know a good POI and how to not be in a big drawdown when trading a good POI? Now, if you look at this setup now, you can see that the POI has a medium size candle, and once price comes to this POI, I wouldn't mind entering this zone. Why? Because I will not be in a big drawdown before price eventually move down to my direction. All right, so make sure your POI is not as large as the one that I showed you above. Make sure your POI has a medium size candle, so that once price come into that POI, you will not be in a massive drawdown, because most of you will miscalculate your profit and loss, and just once price comes into this POI, you just sell, you just enter your market execution and you sell down. But when you have a longer wick and you are using that longer wick as your POI, before price will eventually comes to sell down, like the one I showed you above, you will be in a big drawdown. So always look for this type of POI where your POI is at least a medium size candle. Where your POI is at least a medium size candle, so that when price come and touch your POI and you enter, you will not be in a massive drawdown. Price will respect it and they go to your direction. And they avoid this one, avoid this type of POI right here. Avoid it entirely, because when you expect price to come to this type of POI and you and price comes to the POI and you entered immediately, before it will come down and go to your direction, you are already in a massive drawdown. So avoid this type of POI entirely.